my cherry bombs. It is me, Cherry, and I'm back with another crazy story, of course. This story is actually pretty fresh and it just happened over my birthday weekend. My birthday was the 13th of December, which was a Monday, so I celebrated, I think, like the 10th or the 12th. So this was like a week and a half ago. Y'all, when I say you're going to get the gist of this story, that money and fame does not make people any less lame. If they're lame, they're just going to be lame but with money. So before I start telling you guys this story time, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and then also turn on your notifications because I post very sporadically, and if you do not have your notifications on, you will surely miss me. And then all my social medias are linked down below, and let's get into this story. Okay, so for my birthday, I had friends come into town and we just spent the whole weekend going out. So the whole weekend was literally a movie. It was one of those where I was actually high-key nervous because this is my first time hosting people at my house. And then also I was just like, oh my god, don't let this be one of those cases where, y'all know when you'll be like say the city you're in is normally always lit, but then as soon as you have somebody come from out of town, it's the one weekend where everything's dead, or it's the one weekend where you can't find anything to do. So I was like nervous because I was like, oh my god, I hope this weekend goes as planned. And the weekend ended up actually going way better than I had planned. It was phenomenal, best birthday yet. But this story time was the cringiest part of that whole weekend, and this happened on that Sunday. Friday, my friends fly in. Friday night is chill. Saturday, we go to this spot in New York. It's called Pergola. It's a like restaurant slash hookah lounge. It's at its vibes, really lit. The music is good. I will say honestly, the hookahs are trash. They're pretty nasty. They don't make them well, but the place itself is a vibe and it's really fun to go to, and the food is phenomenal. So we go to this place called Pergola. It's me and a group of like, I think it was 10 of us all together, or no, it was like 8 of us. All my friends are really pretty, bad as hell. If you guys have seen my friends on social media, you know I'm not capping. I have a really pretty set of friends. And so we're at Pergola, and I had went to the bathroom, and while I'm in the bathroom, I guess this guy there's this place in New York called Rosewood Theater, and Rosewood Theater is like a black club in the city, which if you live in New York, you know that finding black clubs in Manhattan is damn near impossible. Like everything is white audience and house music if you're in Manhattan, if you're in the city. Most of the time if you find black clubs, they're like in the boroughs, like they're in Brooklyn or, you know, something like that, Queens, whatever. So this guy, I guess, is a promoter for Rosewood Theater, and he approaches one of my friends. He's like, hey, you guys are really pretty. If you want to come to Rosewood after this, everything's taken care of. It's a vibe, you know, come have fun. Myself and a couple of my friends, not all my friends were able to go because a lot of people had to leave early the next day, and then people had other things they had to do the next day. So it was me and 3 of my friends, one of them being Kathy, gang. So y'all, we get in there, it's a vibe, it's lit. We're in there, we're vibing out. We end up in the section of this guy who I guess is about to get drafted to the NFL. It's him, his agent, and some other people. So we end up in a section with them. They're mad cool, you know, they give us drinks or whatever. And then he had appearances that he had to make in the morning, so they leave us with the bottle. They're like, hey, everything else is you guys, like y'all can kill it, woo-woo, it's been a vibe. And so they leave, mad cool. So we continue to party, we're vibing out, and at this point Kathy has left too because Kathy had an early flight. And in the nature of me and Kathy, like we are the type, we will literally go from the club to the airport when we're out of town, like literally. So that's what Kathy did. She went from the club, went back to my place, got her stuff, and then went to the airport. So then it was just me and my 2 other friends. So we're still in Rosewood Theater. So I go to the bathroom, and when I come out of the bathroom, there was a musician who, y'all know I don't name drop on here, so there was a musician that was at Rosewood Theater that night too, and I guess somebody from his team had grabbed one of my friends and was like, hey, you know, you and your friends come over here to our section, woo-doo-woo. And so the other friend, I'm gonna call the friends Ash and L just to make this easier for the story. So the guy from the musicians team had grabbed L and was like, hey, come to the section, whatever. And Ash had stayed on the couch just to let me know when I came out of the bathroom, like, hey, we're about to go to this other section. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm, grab my stuff up, getting ready to, go to the other section with them. And this guy comes over and he's like, hey, I have somebody who wants to talk to you, as in me. And I'm like, why not? I'm lit. It's my birthday. And honestly, like, I'm on my whatever vibe, but I personally do not like when people send other people to come talk to me if they want to come talk to me. I feel like that's weird. But anyway, I was lit, effed up. It's my birthday, whatever. Let's go say hi. So I go over and it's this guy and he's sitting on the couch by himself and he has a bottle in front of him. And I sit beside him and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, why did you send your friend to talk to me and not you? And he's like, you're mad pretty, he's like, I got a bottle here, do you want to drink? He's like, I don't drink, but if you want to drink, it's fine. And I told him, I was like, that's cool and all, but my friends are in another section, so I'm about to go catch up with my friends. So if you want to take down my like IG or anything, that's cool. So he's like, okay, cool. Takes down my IG, takes down my number, and he like grabs my hand as I'm like getting up to leave the section. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to catch my friends. Like, you know how you do that kind of awkward, like, let me go, but you're just like, all right, like, you got my information. I told you, like, friends are in the other section. I'm about to go. Takes a little minute, but eventually let's go, man, whatever. So this guy ends up being the son to a very, very big musician in the, I think 80s was her time to shine, was in the 80s. Mama was getting it, okay? Her music is bomb. Some of y'all don't know about that, but if you the old heads or if your parents are older, you know about her music. So he is her son. And so I go to the other section or whatever, me and my friends vibe out for the rest of the night, then we leave. Well, boom, the next day my friends and I are out at this place called Amani. We're about to grab dinner. So the guy, what am I gonna name him? I'm gonna name him, okay, so I'm gonna name the guy Dub because that's what he was acting like. So Dub calls me when we're about to, like, we're waiting to get seated, and he FaceTimes me, and I'm just like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I don't care if I look good or if I'm, if I'm presentable, if I'm not presentable. If I don't know you like that, I don't like when people that I don't know like that FaceTime me. Like, FaceTime is for my friends and family, like close friends, family, and then a boo, bang. FaceTime is not for the dude I just met at the club last night. I feel like it's a men from New York thing. They love to FaceTime you. And it's like, I'm not your bitch. Don't FaceTime me. Like, that's weird. But anyway, he FaceTimes me. I ignore it because I'm like, I'm out with my friends. I'm not about to answer this FaceTime. I just met this guy at the club. Like, I already know where that's gonna go. So a couple more minutes go by and then he calls me regular and I pick up that because I'm like, you must want something, so what's up? I pick up the call and he's like, hey, where are you at? Like, what are you doing? Like, I leave back to LA tomorrow. I want to take you out to dinner. I'll send a car for you. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm already at dinner with my friends, so I mean, we could hang out after, but I'm already at dinner with my friends. So he's like, okay, that's fine. Let me know when you guys are done, and wherever you guys are at, I'll send a car for y'all and have y'all come meet me where I'm at. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we do dinner, and then we go to another spot in Brooklyn. It's called Komodo Lounge. We go there. I think we had more drinks at Komodo Lounge, and then we finally call Dub, and we're like, okay, you can send the car now. So he's like, okay, what bottles do you all want? Like, what do you want? It's your birthday, da da da. Like, what bottles do you want? And I honestly had been drinking the whole freaking day, so I'm just like, well, I don't know if I want to tell him that I want bottles because then everybody's gonna pressure me to drink the bottles because I'm the birthday girl, and I am legit. You guys, I had been drinking all freaking day. I was like, oh my god. So my friend takes the phone. She's like, we want this and this. I'm like, okay, F it, we're in it to win it, let's go. So he's like, okay, cool. So he sends the car to come get us. The car comes and he is back at Pergola. So we were at Pergola Saturday night, so now we're back at Pergola Sunday night. Cool. Pergola's a vibe. Like, again, every time I've been, it's been lit, it's been a vibe. So, because I've even gone after this. So we go back to Pergola. Mind you, actually, let me, before I even finish this part of the story, tell y'all. So the whole weekend of my birthday, and this is not me trying to be cocky or anything at all, but a bitch was looking fire, okay? The whole weekend of my birthday, we were at places where there are certain places where like a lot of like athletes go to hang out. People that are in the industry as far as music or whatever go to hang out. Pergola happens to be one of them. So the night before, because I actually forgot to mention this, there were a couple of like basketball players and stuff in Pergola as well, and we happened to be sitting at a table that was behind. Basically our tables were like, we were back to back. So the night before when we were in Pergola, there was a guy, I guess he was a basketball player, and some of my friends recognized him, but I didn't. And I was trying to take my freaking birthday pictures, and he would not move the fuck out of my pictures. I'm like, first off, I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. Like, why are you trying to be in my photos? And then he ended up being at Rosewood Theater too. And we didn't interact at all or talk at all in Pergola, outside of me trying to get him to scoot out of my damn pictures. And then when we were at Rosewood, before I even ended up getting approached by Dub's friend, the basketball player had come around to the section that we were in after the football player left. He was like, oh, you know, I've been looking at you tonight, da da da, like I like your vibe, what whoop de whoop. And he's like, you know, I want to get your information down, and I'm like, I literally looked at him, I was like, you're the one who would not get the fuck out of my photos. And then he gives his phone to a girl, some random girl, and he's like, take a picture of us. I'm like, I don't want none of you niggas in my photos. And I don't want to be in photos with none of you niggas. I'm looking like it's a plethora of niggas with bread in here, and y'all think I want to get seen with one of y'all? When it's a room full? No. Get the fuck? I'm like, damn. But anyway, I say that because even Dub ended up doing the same thing, but I'm gonna get to that. So we pull up to Pergola this second night, and we we get in, we go upstairs. Dub has like has paid for like and this night there was another very, 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 very well-known basketball player in there this night too. So I feel like this night they were kind of being like, I don't know, at first they were being weird about letting us in. They were like, oh, but then Dub was like, no, I paid for this, I want them in here, and I guess he has pool. We go upstairs, we sit in Dub's section or whatever, and it's not really like it's a restaurant. So I'm saying section, but we're like at a table. So we're at a table, he's got his bottles, hookahs, whatever. And we're all just like, we're chilling, we're sitting there talking and stuff. And it was weird, honestly, at first, because I'm like, okay, you were like really pressing me to come out here. You've asked me several times to come out here. You got me out here. And you're not talking to me, like, and I don't know why, like, honestly, in my personal opinion, to girls out here who want to date like athletes or industry people, I'm telling you, bro, a lot of them they're boring. They don't have personality. They're actually very boring. They don't hold good conversations. They're boring as hell, and you're not missing out on anything if you don't interact with them. So at first I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, like this is weird. He's not really saying nothing. He like kind of like, he in his phone, but he's like laid up on me, like, but on his phone. I'm like, why the fuck are you like it was just weird. I'm like, why are you laid up on me like this? Like, we don't know each other. Like, why are you laid up on me like this? And you're in your phone and you're not saying anything. Like, this is mad weird. Eventually we get a conversation started, and I'm just asking him more about himself. And he's like, yeah, like, I do this, I do that. So he's a music producer, and he actually, when he showed me his music later on the night, I was like, oh damn, like these are some pretty big hits on the radio. His music fire, like the music's good. He's just corny as hell. So He's like telling me about kind of like some of the stuff that he does within the industry. He's showing me some people that he has signed under him, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know any of them, but I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, he keeps on like looking, like every time somebody comes up the steps, he's just like looking like very like trying to see who's coming up the steps, like what's going on. So I make a joke and I ask him, I'm like, you got people that want your head or something? Because I'm like, you keep looking around like you nervous or something. Like, is people looking for you? And I'm just joking because I'm not thinking anybody is looking for this scrawny ass white boy. But he's like, yeah, da, 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 but it's okay. I got my strap on me, like whatever, we good. And he pulls out this like bag from under the table, and it's got, I guess his gun is in the bag. And I'm just looking like, oh, here we go. It's about to get real. It's about to get real corny. It's about to get real reckless. So he's like, it's okay because I got my strap on me, whoop de whoop. So I tell him, I'm like, I don't like none of that gang shit, that hood shit. I'm scary. Like, that turns some girls on. I don't like that. He's like, nah, it's good, whatever, whoop de whoop. He's like, you know, but I just gotta be protected because, you know, I done lost a lot of my niggas. And first off, I'm like, not the white boy saying nigga. Oh my gosh. It's always, yo, something about, he was Italian. I don't know who told Italians they could say nigga. I don't know who told Italians they was black. But a lot of New York Italians, Southern Italians, think they are not white. They have this delusion in their head. They don't think they're white. Here we go. So he's like, yeah, I done lost a lot of my niggas, da da da. You know, I just caught 2 bodies. I just got done fighting the case. I'm like, there's a lot of hood shit I ain't asked for. I'm just listening like, what the fuck? This is so ghetto. And so he's saying all that, and I'm just like, I'm really just caught up on the fact he keeps saying nigga, and it's a lot of non-niggas that be up here saying the N-word. I'm just like, I'm not hearing nothing else, because as soon as you started saying the N-word, you lost me. Because you're not black. I'm very lost right now. I'm confused. I'm very confused. Night goes on. He just doing the most. So he's like, periodically, like he would lean over and like, y'all, why this man show me on his phone? He showed me his net worth on his phone. And I mean, like I said, he checks out. He is who he says he is. And man's worth $14 million. But I'm like, why would you show, like, what was your point in showing me that? Like, did you feel like I was gonna fuck with you more if you showed me that? Like, was that supposed to make me be like, oh my god, like, I have to fuck him tonight? Like, oh my god, he's worth 14 mil and he's verified and he has like over 2 million freaking followers on Instagram. Like, I'm gonna fuck him. Like, oh my god, I'm definitely giving him some like, I don't give a fuck. He is showing me this. I'm just like, okay, so you about to give me some money for my birthday since you showed me your net worth? Like, I don't, what am I supposed to do with this? I hate when men show you money, watches, cars, lifestyles that they not finna provide you or give to you. But why are you showing me this? I'm not giving you no this. So it shows me that or whatever. And then periodically throughout the night as well, he keeps leaning over and he's like, yeah, so you about to get a lot of weird looks tonight because every bitch in here wants me. I'm like, I know that did not just come out of his mouth. I know he did not just say that lame ass shit. I'm appalled. I'm flabbergasted. I am shook. And I'm just like, I'm literally cackling. I'm just letting him talk because I'm actually like, I'm cackling. So he's like, yeah, every bitch in here wants me, da, da. And I said, why they gotta be bitches? He's like, oh my bad, but you know what I mean, like, da da da. Just like, I'm the Prince of New York. All these bitches want me, da da da. I'm just like, are you trying to convince me or yourself? What the like, what? So he's saying that or whatever, and then he's like, yeah. So and again, like I said, I don't name drop, but there were a lot of like So there was a jeweler that was does the jewelry for a lot of very big rappers and stuff like that. I guess that was there that night too. And there were other people who did other things. Again, I don't know these people. They did other things or whatever. So he's going around, he's talking to everybody. They dapping him up because, again, he knows them because he's in the industry too. So he comes back and he sits down. He's like, yeah, that's so-and-so's jeweler. That's so-and-so over there. This, that, woo-doo. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just listening like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Like, do you want a cookie? The hell? So anyway, he's saying that, and granted, there were girls that were looking at us hella weird throughout the whole night, like deep within the soul of our fucking faces. But I refuse to believe it's because his scrawny ass right there. I refuse. There's just no realm, no circumstance where I ever will believe that that's why we were getting stares. It's not gonna happen, because when I further explain how he was acting, I just refuse to believe. Because I'm like, if you really got bitches that want you like this, and you really get the type of punani that you are basically trying to emphasize that you get, you would not be acting this lame. There's no way you would act this lame. I don't feel like those, actually, those two things can coincide. There are a lot of men out here who actually do get a lot of play, and they are actually super fucking lame, and women just let them get away with being lame. So I'll give you that, maybe. So y'all, 12 o'clock hits. It's officially my birthday, because my birthday was Monday. So we started at the club on Sunday. It's 12 a.m. It is now Monday. It is my freaking birthday. So I get up, I'm dancing. My friends are trying to record me. Why do I see all my friends' phones, and their phones are doing like this? Like they're trying really hard to cut something out of the video. And I look, and in my peripheral behind me, I see Dub trying to be in every single video. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, get out of my shit. It's my birthday. I just meant, get out of my shit. Y'all, he's trying to be in every single picture, video, everything, doing the most. And my friends are literally having to go like this to like angle the phone so he's not in the pictures and the videos. He's just doing the most. So at one point, I'm dancing, y'all. I'm dancing, whatever. I'm like winding on the couch. Why do I feel something on my ass, right? I feel something on my ass. I look around. Why is there a foot on my ass? What the fuck? What the fuck? This man has his whole foot. Like, he is like literally like, I was like bent over the couch. I'm dancing. My friends are recording. And this man stands up on the couch and puts his foot on my ass. Like I'm an ottoman. If I'm an ottoman, just say that. If I'm furniture, just say that. This is giving me very, this is giving me slavery. I'm feeling that this is racially charged at this point. This is giving me like picking cotton and dodging whips. Why is your foot on my ass, sir? Who does that? And so I look around, and I'm literally, y'all, when I say I was in shock, I couldn't even get the curse words out because I was in shock. I'm not even gonna act like I cursed him out because I didn't. I was so in shock. I look around, my mouth drops, and I said, and you can see it in the video, but all my friends deleted the videos. You could literally see me go, is there a foot on my ass? There's a foot on my ass. Like, I was so in shock. How do you even react to that? I'm just like, what the entire, why is there a foot on my ass? So I get his fucking foot off of me. And I keep doing my thing, because again, nobody's about to mess with my vibe. It's my freaking birthday, and I'm about to get my little videos of my freaking birthday little dance. Y'all, takes his foot off my ass. Then in another video, he's like grabbing my titty. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like, and y'all, I really should have cussed him out, and I should have left, and I shouldn't have dealt with as much as I dealt with. But I also was in the mindset of like, oh, my friends are in town. I want to make sure everyone has a good time. I don't want to be one to kill the vibe. I was trying to be too considerate, honestly. Way too considerate. And I was letting myself be disrespected, trying to be considerate of everybody else. And I know that that's not what my friends would have wanted. But in that moment, I'm just like, I just don't want anything to kill our vibe. So I was like, you know what? F it, I'm not about to cuss anybody out. I'm not about to do the most. It's whatever. One of my friends grabs him. She's like, yo, chill out. Like, you being real disrespectful. Like, you're doing a lot. And she's like, you know, you see that girl right there? Like, that's a queen. She needs to be treated like a queen. He's like, oh, well, I'm a king too. Da da da. I feel what you're saying. Da da da. I'm like, what the fuck? Doing the most. Anyway, so fast forward. We leave Pergola, and upon leaving, we were like, oh, you know, he was like, oh, I got a penthouse in the city. Woo de woo. Y'all come over to the penthouse. You know, we'll have a couple more drinks. You know, whatever. And he was like, you know, oh, you're staying with me tonight. And I'm like, I'm definitely not fucking staying with this nigga. First off, you're fucking young and your age shows in everything that you do say and everything that you are. It just shows. Because he was 24. And I'm just like, you're just doing a lot. And so he's like, oh, I got this penthouse, whatever. But me and my friends, we did agree. We was like, we nosy. We want to see what a New York pimp look like. So y'all, us being stupid as fuck. Oh my God, I'm screaming. We're like, we want to see a New York penthouse. So we're like, yeah, we'll come over. We'll do. We leave Pergola. Upon leaving Pergola, it was 2 cars. So we had the driver that he had for the night in a big SUV, and then him and his homeboy came in like his homeboy's car. First off, homeboy car is a BMW, but it's a BMW convertible, and the convertible gotta be like maybe 4 or 5 years old. It's not no 2020, it's not no 2021. So you doing the most did not even have to be a thing. It's got like a little dent in the side. I'm like, it's a nice car, but I'm peeping. Nobody else seen the dent but me, but I be peeping from head to toe, so I peeped it. So me and one of my friends gets in the convertible, in the back of the convertible, and then my other friends are in the car with the driver. Y'all, I asked Dub, I said, hey, how does your friend drive? Because I don't like crazy drivers. Y'all, I'm very, like, I don't play with my life. I don't like when, it is very unattractive to me when men get you in the car and they start trying to do the most and show off, trying to drive crazy because they have women in the car with them. I don't know what makes men feel like trying to endanger our lives is gonna be like, oh my God, he's such a hot boy, fast and furious for life. No, bitch, let me out. I don't, oh my God, I don't like that. I cannot stand when men try to drive crazy to impress you, bro. So I asked Doug, who was in the passenger seat, I said, how does your friend drive before we pull off? He's like, oh, he doesn't drive crazy. He's a good driver. We'll do it, whatever, we'll do it. Y'all, let me tell y'all. First off, they put the top down to the convertible and it's 34 degrees this night, bro. 34 degrees. And you put the top down in the convertible. Go to hell. What the? Go straight to hell. Fuck. I should have known, honestly. No, well, let me tell you. When I really knew it was finna be some bullshit was when his friend, this black guy who swears that I guess his uncle is a part of BMF. His friend, instead of opening the door to the car and getting in the car, he hopped over the side of the convertible and hopped into the car. I said, oh, and this is the moment I knew it was about to be some bullshit.
It was at this moment that she knew she fucked up.
That was the moment. I said, oh my gosh, I done effed up. Because as soon as he did that extra ass shit, I knew that he was gonna pull off mad extra. But there was no, like, from the time he hopped in, starts pulling out. I'm like, oh my God. Pulls out and starts driving like he is in a fucking GTA video game. I'm just like, oh hell no. Every light that we stopped at, I literally was like, okay, how many seconds would I have this light to get? I'm like getting my stuff together. I'm like, I will hop out of this convertible at the light. I don't care. You're not about to play my life. I'm about to go home. My friend is in the car. She's like talking to the driver. She's like, yo, you're making us very uncomfortable. We don't like the way you're driving. Can you please chill out? Like, you're speeding in these New York blocks is short as fuck. You're speeding like hell to every light for what? speeding through red lights, all types of shit. I'm like, oh hell no. You got me Okay, so editing Cherry here. I forgot to mention also the whole time that we were in the car, which was all of maybe like, I think the car ride was like maybe like 12 minutes, like 15 minutes. But mind you, it was because they drove in a big ass circle, square, whatever, I guess trying to show off and speed around town when all we had to do, we were at Pergola. Pergola is literally down the street from Soho. It's a straight line. They drove all around the world for like no reason but to show off, I guess. But anyway, while they're driving in their all around the world circle just to get to down the street to freaking Soho, they're in the car and they're talking about, I don't know, I guess they're talking about a case or whatever, the whatever. And we're going through like Little Italy and stuff, and he's like, yeah, that's the barbershop where my great uncle got, you know, they gunned down my uncle. And then he has like his little like rest in peace moment for his uncle, whatever. And he's talking about, oh, you know, basically talking about how his family is part of the mob, which, okay, that checks out. But then in the same breaths of air, he's also saying, yeah, I'm a pyro, da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. And we're like, first off, nobody who is a pyro would ever tell you that that's what they were to two random girls that they don't know like that and that they just met. Why would you tell us that? Secondly, I don't know about the gang life because I ain't about none of that. But how you gonna be in the mob and you high up in a gang, but you're Italian, you're white? Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I just never seen a white. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me not say the actual name of the gang for the sake of this video. I'm gonna say I ain't never seen no white red shirt. Okay, and what are you talking about? So he's like just talking about all this just like gang-ish. I'm just like, ew, what the, like, shut up. So we get to the penthouse. It's in Soho. So we're thinking, oh, he lives in Soho. This is gonna be a nice ass place, because anybody who's from New York knows Soho is like nice, y'all. And we had already decided, like me and my friend had already decided in the car, and then my other friends are getting irritated too because they just doing it entirely too much. So we had already decided in the car, we're gonna go up here, we're gonna see this penthouse, we gonna take a couple pictures, because y'all know you lying if you about to tell me that you would not go up into a New York penthouse and be taking some flicks for the gram. Okay, so we were like, we're gonna go up here, we're gonna see the penthouse, we're gonna take a couple flicks, and we're gonna leave. First off, when I'm thinking penthouse, I'm thinking floor to ceiling windows, full kitchen, full bedroom, if not, you know, multiple bedrooms, big space, maybe a floor or two. I'm thinking penthouse, like bachelor pad, just total decked out penthouse, y'all. When we got in his penthouse, I call it the pent trap. That's what I call it, the pent trap. When we got in the pent trap, first off, why is it like 19 pairs of G-Fazos by the door? 19 pairs of the same shoe. Why you got 19 pairs of G-Fazos? And they all worn. And it's like, I get it. When it comes to, and for anybody who doesn't know what G-Fazo is, it's the Air Force One, the white ones. When it comes to those shoes, I get it. You can't really wear them a lot of times. You wear them freaking 3 times and they be effed up to the point that you gotta throw them away. So they're not a durable shoe at all. They match a lot of things, they're cute, but they're not a durable shoe. I'm like, if you're gonna throw, if you're not gonna wear them and you're gonna keep buying new pairs, why not throw away the old ones? Why you got 19 pairs of the same shoe by the door? It's giving very much serial killer. Then we get in there and it's a kitchenette. It's not a full kitchen, it's a kitchenette. So there's this pretty ass spiral staircase. So we're like, oh, okay, maybe there's a second floor. Why the spiral staircase lead up to a rooftop? Not more apartment, no nothing, just rooftop. And he did all this bragging when we were like, you know, before we got over there. So he's like, yeah, I got 4 places in the city, but this one I'm about to take you to, I pay $7,000 a month for this. I'm like, you pay $7,000 a month for this? Your shit look like mine. His apartment dead ass look like mine. We got a kitchenette. Everything's newly renovated. It's nice. But I would never pay $7,000 for what the fuck we stay in. I'm like, shit, for all that, you could have a little place in Brooklyn for way lower than that. $7,000? The fuck? And I know he's not capping because it's Soho. It's expensive. But I'm like, all the nice ass places in Soho, and this is what you picked out. This is what you're spending $7,000 a month on. I can't. We get in there. I'm over it. My friends are over it. A couple of my friends who stay in a different part of Brooklyn like, hey, we're gonna get an Uber. We're about to dip. I do not blame them. I'm like, girl, I wish I was going with y'all. As soon as I can dip, I'm gonna dip too. Because the 2 friends that I had staying with me, one of them was still like, you know, talking and entertaining or whatever. So I'm like, you know, I'll see y'all. Y'all get home safe. They're like, okay, cool, you too. So they leave. So it's me and my 2 other friends. Why this man, Dub, keeps on calling me into the room, into his bedroom. He's like, you know, he's like, come talk to me. Why are you being like that? Woo-de-woo. Like, you talking about you about to leave. You about to go. You won't even take your coat off. Because, y'all, when I said I did not get comfortable, I had my shoes on. I had my coat on, everything. Because I was like, I'm not staying. And I told him, I was like, I'm not staying. He's like, wow, that's weird. You're being hella weird. Why are you being like that? Like, that's so weird to me. Like that, you know, we had a plan. You said you was staying over. I'm like, I was never fucking staying over here. Like, anyway. He's like, we had a plan. You said you was going to stay over. Now you switching up. He's like, that's that lame shit. That's weird. He's like, I can't even trust you now. I'm real big on my word and da-da-da. And I can't even trust you now because you switching up. I was like, okay. He like, oh, you know, if you leave, you know, then you can delete my number and da-da-da woo-de-woo because I'm not talking to you again. I'm like, okay. I literally was sitting there like, okay, like, I don't give these threats are not, this is not very threatening, sir, because I don't give a f. Literally don't give a f. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. If that's how it's gonna be, it's just, it is what it is. It's fine. So he's like, oh, you know, I done brought you out tonight. You know, it's your birthday. I done spent over $1,000 on you and da-da-da. I'm like, nigga, you showed me your net worth is $14 million and you think I'm supposed to be impressed because you spent pocket change on me? What? The $1,000, that's nothing to you. You really thought, and not only that, you really thought that I was finna be, because I'm like, you're talking about I'm treating, because he was like, oh, you treat me like I'm some lame ass nigga. First off, you're not a nigga at all. Let's start there. You're Italian. You're white. You're white. Secondly, I'm like, you treat me like a lame ass bitch because you really think, you really thought, and I even said this, I'm like, you really treat me like a lame because you really thought that I was going to be impressed by your social media following, by how much money you have, and I was going to give you some $1,000. I wish the I would sling some after somebody who is worth 14 million spent $1,000 on me, not even 10 racks. You think I would sling some boy, your age is showing. I'm just like, what the f? He's saying all that, I guess trying to guilt trip me or something, but it ain't working because I ain't going for none of that shit. Because first off, baby, you're 24, I'm 28. I've been in the game way longer than you. Nothing you can say to me right now is going to make me stay, and it's definitely not going to make me pop this cat. I'm leaving. I'm getting the f. So he goes from saying that, whatever, woo-de-woo, like, you know, trying that. None of that works. So then he's like, oh, you know, and I'm just like, yo, I keep on telling you I want to go, and you just, like, not trying to hear me right now. You being mad aggressive, and I'm telling you, I got an attitude. I told him, I said, I have an attitude. I want to go home. I got an attitude. I'm irritated. I want to go home. So he's like, you know, he grabs my arm. He's like, come here. You won't take your coat off. You won't even get comfortable. No, nothing. And I'm like, why are you grabbing me? He's like, come here. So he pulls me into him, y'all. Pulls me into this hug because he's like, oh, you know, give me a hug. Da, da, da. I'm like, what the f is going on right now? He pulls me into this hug and then he flips me. So I'm underneath him on the bed. I'm like, oh, hell no. And this is exactly why the hell I'm not staying. This is exactly why I'm getting out of here. Because I don't like this aggressive stuff. Because no, this give me very much so like, you're not trying to take no for an answer. This is giving me very much so I'm about to have to fight for my freedom, my free will, and I don't like that. I don't. The fact that I'm telling you I want to go, you trying to keep me in this room. The fact I'm telling you I want to go, you're not on top of me. I'm telling you to get off of me. You won't get off of me. And I'm just like, bro, I don't like this. And then I'm like, yeah, he might have not been the biggest person in the world. He was not a big dude, but he's still a man, and it was a lot stronger than me. So I'm like, the fact that him being forceful and I wasn't able to pull away the way that I wanted to, as soon as I peeped that, I said, I don't like this. Because I could already tell. He's like trying to kiss me on my cheeks and shit. I'm like, oh, fuck no. He's like, oh, you could have stayed. I'll give you a massage. Da, da, da. Like, I don't want a fucking massage. I do, but not from you. Not when you gonna try to happy in that shit. Hell no. So he was just, I don't know, y'all. He was just being way too aggressive for me. I was like, I'm getting the fuck. I'm about to leave. He's like, oh, you know, if that's the case, delete my number. And I'm like, that's fine, because you were never gonna hear from me again after this anyway. I literally don't care. These little baby ass threats. You are not, New York, literally, I think my friend sent me the statistics. She said literally, I think it's every 1 in 5 New Yorkers is a millionaire. Every 1 in 5. That's how many millionaires are in New York. Baby, you're one of many. And I bet you a lot of them are not as weird as you. A lot of them are weird. I'm not saying a lot of them are not weird at all. But they're not as weird as you. Oh. This is editing Cherry here. I also forgot to mention that during this interaction in the room, he started talking about how basically, you know, cameras follow him wherever he goes, and he had said something about this in the restaurant too. He was like, you know, when we leave, it's probably gonna be, you know, people take pictures of me when I leave out of places. I'm just noting all this, like, thanks for letting me know these things, because I'm not your bitch. And then when we were in the room, he's like, yeah, even tonight, you know, and I'm gonna say this because this is not me name dropping. He said this, so blame it on him. He's like, oh yeah, Drake's jeweler was in the corner and they were videographers and stuff. Mind you, the way that Pergola's set up, you can see who's in Pergola. I'm like, I would have seen if somebody had cameras, and I definitely would have got the fuck. So it's like, I would say like you're capping, or I felt like he was capping, but he's like, yeah, like, you know, there's a cameras tonight, they're, you know, recording, doing videos of me, da, da. And I looked at him, I said, I didn't authorize any pictures or photos. I don't want to be in shit. I literally was like, I don't want to be in any pictures, any videos, no nothing. I didn't sign up for that. You didn't tell me about that. I don't want to be in nothing. I don't care about this little industry stuff. Like, I don't want to be in none of that. The hell? You're not finna have me fucking on no blogs, no shade room, no nothing with you. I don't know you. You're not my man. And I wish I would be seen with a white man that says nigga. Bitch. I'd rather drag my punani across a cactus. Hell no. I'm just like, not you like said it like I was thinking like, oh my God, there were cameras there. Like, I hope they got us. No. I hope they didn't give me nothing. I don't want to be seen with none of y'all trying to kill my dating pool. What the hell? I'm single and ready to mingle, and not with y'all. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm not trying to be no pictures or videos. Got me effed up. Y'all, I'm just like, all this stuff that was being said that was meant to impress me, I'm just like, no, this is not giving. So yeah, that was my story, y'all. It was just a lot going on. I wish I could have told this with a little more energy, but I'm sick. I got tested. I don't have the Rona, but my throat is scratchy as heck. And yeah, every time I try to talk for a long time, my whole throat just dry out. That is the end of this story, you guys. Moral of the story is, money does not make these men any less lame. Fame does not make these men any less lame. Yeah. These men be corny. Don't get fixated on what they have. Don't get fixated on the things they have, the following they have, anything. Focus on how this person actually is as a person. And when you strip away everything and you just look at how these people are as people, you'll realize a lot of them are super freaking corny. And that's the moral of this story. So if you guys like this story time, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on my notifications. All my social medias are down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.